I mean, like, I suppose there's two sides to it that I can kind of remember. One being, I suppose the fact that it felt like probably a proud moment, at that stage. You're like 8 years old, and it's I guess it felt like it was a real rite of passage, to do it. And for me, I was the youngest of 6 children, so all my siblings had been through it, and there was a lot of kind of reverence about it in school, I'd say. But so that's one side that I remember, and the kind of all the preparation and it being this like huge event. Like, the only thing that I compare it to in my adult life is like getting married almost, this kind of like, it's like this huge ceremony that's around it. But then the other side, which is kind of the interesting flip side to it, is the fact that doing your first communion felt like an industry in some way as well. This is like the first time in my life that I remember earning money and comparing with my peers how much money we had made doing our first communion. So it was this weird kind of mixture of something that felt like quite traditional and monumental, but then also this element of kind of consumerism and capitalism that was around it as well.
Yeah, it was the first generation of it being really, like old people say, like America. Like, it actually was like America. I remember a lot of competitiveness over money among like snotty kids, and that being a real sign that, obviously looking back now, we gained money so quickly that it didn't suit us, and we were kind of catching up with ourselves culturally, and I still don't feel because we lost it so quickly then and went back to such an extreme recession, that we've processed that time, or like, did that suit us? So us kind of Celtic Tiger generation are in this bubble of Santies being extreme, Christmases being mental, the fucking Wii Fit, all this shit bursting onto the scene, communion money, the kids being let decide how to spend that, credit unions account for kids, la la la. I suppose that's kept going.
I think it was a lot more homogenous, ethnically homogenous back then as well. We've had like kind of more immigration now since, and I think that is good. We were just all kind of privileged white people, and I think you get whiplash from the speed that we went from being, like my dad remembers, he used to work in his parents' like shop and mill, and they would have a donkey and cart, and he remembers when they got their first tractor, and like people would still have donkeys and carts, and for to go like in space of 30 years or less, to go to the peak of the Celtic Tiger was kind of breakneck speed of development. And I think, there's kind of like growing pains with that. Like, we don't have the housing now. Some things we lost. Let me think. I think since then, I think a big thing is the what came to light was the child sex abuse in the church that was happening in the church, and a lot of people, so many people, rightly so, are disillusioned. So anyone who did believe, like even my nana Murphy, she did believe, but she wouldn't go to mass anymore after that. And I suppose we kind of lost kind of innocence, I think. It was a very innocent, it was like when people get like new money, or like, there was a lot of helicopters and champagne and cocaine and that kind of thing, but or that kind of feeling. But I think and there was kind of an innocence to it, but things seem a lot more serious now.
No, we have an answer. I mean, I think we maybe had another big turning point now of of a shift in importance and of a shift in values. And I think now is really the kind of opportunity for community activity, public participation to step in. And like, I do believe that. Kind of biased in believing it. But I think, after the pandemic, it's kind of this complete renewed appreciation of what local community, local amenity, public space, what public participation means has really come forward, because we've been afforded an opportunity to do without nearly everything. But before that, like between then and now, I don't know what replaced them. I couldn't say that anything has, but at the same time, I don't think there was much really there to be replaced. Not by the time it came to me, like, it was already kind of a facsimile of spirituality.